James Whitaker was a man who, in the eyes of the world, seemed to have it all. The owner of a renowned chain of luxury jewelry stores, he amassed millions of dollars and an impeccable reputation in the market. For many, James was the picture of success, a successful white man who had earned every penny through hard work after rising from extreme poverty. However, what few knew was that behind the glitter of his store windows, there was a pain that he had been carrying for 18 years, a pain that success had never been able to erase. 18 years earlier, James lost the great love of his life, Madelyne, a black woman whose smile lit up any room. Madelyne was everything to him, strong, intelligent, and passionate. She challenged him, inspired him, and balanced his impulsive spirit with an unwavering grace. Together, they dreamed of building a life full of love and hope, and the arrival of a daughter was the fulfillment of that dream. But fate was cruel. During childbirth, Madelyne suffered serious complications and, despite medical efforts, did not survive. James, devastated, was left alone with a newborn baby girl in his arms and a broken heart. He felt that he had failed, that he should have protected Madelyne, but instead, she was gone forever. Grief-stricken, James plunged into his work as a way of escaping the pain and guilt. He turned the small jewelry business he had started with Madelyne into an empire. The pieces he designed, often inspired by her, carried stories and symbolism that only he understood. But no matter how high he climbed, there was a shadow that never left him, the void left by Madelyne. Even so, his daughter, Alana, was his light. Despite his dedication to his work, James always tried to be the best father he could. He raised her with love, teaching her to be resilient and to never lower her head to the prejudice that, unfortunately, she often faced as a young black woman in a world that wasn't always welcoming. On Alana's 18th birthday, James decided to do something special. He wanted his daughter to understand that the empire he had built was as much hers as it was as an extension of the love he and Madelyne shared.
"Choose whatever you wish, my princess. Today is your day,"
said James, handing her a special card that allowed her to choose any piece of jewelry from his stores. Alana was thrilled. It was the first time she'd had the chance to visit one of the stores as a customer. For her, more than a gift, it was a gesture that reinforced the bond with her father and the memory of her mother. James secretly planned to surprise her. He wanted to see her exploring what he had created, choosing something that symbolized the strong, independent woman she was becoming. The store Alana chose was in one of the city's most exclusive shopping centers. The facade was imposing, with large gold letters that shone in the light. The windows displayed dazzling pieces, carefully arranged to attract the eyes of wealthy customers. When Alana entered, she felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. It was an environment she knew, but from afar, through her father's stories. Now she was there, ready to choose something she would carry with her all her life. As she admired the shop windows, her eyes fell on a diamond bracelet. It was perfect, delicate, but with an intense sparkle. Each stone seemed to reflect the light in a unique way, as if telling a story. With confidence, Alana approached an employee who seemed to be the store manager. Sylvia, a white, middle-aged woman with impeccably tied hair and a fitted blazer, approached with a professional but cold smile.
"Excuse me, could you show me that bracelet?"
Alana asked, pointing to the piece. Sylvia looked at her quickly, and her gaze changed. She assessed Alana from head to toe. Despite her simple, elegant clothes, her black skin seemed to be what Sylvia really saw.
"That bracelet is incredibly expensive. We have more affordable options at the back. Maybe these are more suitable for you,"
said Sylvia, her tone bordering on debauchery. Alana felt the hint of prejudice in those words, but took a deep breath. She insisted.
"I'd like to see this one, please."
Sylvia crossed her arms, leaning slightly towards Alana with a smile that exuded condescension.
Listen, darling, I've worked here for years. I know who can really buy and who just wants to. Have a look. I'm not going to waste my time.
Alana felt a lump forming in her throat.
I can't believe you're judging me like this. You don't know anything about me.
Sylvia let out a sarcastic laugh.
I know enough. People like you don't go into this kind of store to buy. At most, they want to take photos to post on social media pretending they have something.
The atmosphere became tense. Other customers began to observe the interaction, some with uncomfortable looks, others clearly curious to see what would happen.
I said I want to see the bracelet. Now.
Insisted Alana without backing down. Sylvia shook her head, finally picking it up, but not before throwing another barb.
Be careful not to drop it. If you damage it, you'll have to pay.
Meanwhile, James arrived at the store with the intention of surprising his daughter. He expected to find her excited, dazzled by the jewelry. But when he entered, what he saw paralyzed him. Sylvia was shamelessly humiliating Alana in front of everyone.
This customer is not who you think she is. People like that shouldn't even be here.
He heard Sylvia say before Alana could respond. Fury overtook James. He crossed the room with firm steps, his presence immediately drawing attention.
What's going on here?
His deep voice echoed through the store, silencing all the murmurs. Sylvia turned around, still not realizing who he was.
I'm just protecting the store from profiteers, sir. Some think they can just walk in and ask for jewelry that's way beyond their means.
James looked at Alana, who was holding back tears, and then turned his cutting gaze on Sylvia.
This client is my daughter.
Sylvia turned pale. Her hands shook and she stammered to justify her actions.
Mr. Whitaker, I didn't know.
I didn't know. You didn't know. But that doesn't give you the right to humiliate someone like that. Your assumptions have no place here.
He turned to the employees and customers, letting his voice echo through the store.
This company was built to represent elegance and respect, but today, in this store, I witnessed the opposite. Sylvia, you're fired now.
Sylvia begged for another chance, but James was relentless.
Get out and take your prejudice with you.
After a tense silence, he turned to Alana. His expression softened, showing deep love and pride.
Choose what you want, my princess. This store is as much yours as it is mine.
After the incident, James didn't stop there. He revamped all the chain's stores, implementing mandatory diversity and inclusion training. Every employee was re-educated on what it meant to respect and welcome all customers. Alana started working alongside her father, bringing a young and progressive vision. She suggested that the brand's most iconic pieces be renamed, and the bracelet she chose was named Madelyne, after the mother she had never met, but whose spirit would live on forever. A new sign was placed at the entrance to each store. Here, true value lies in the brilliance of the jewelry and the dignity of the wearer. The world got wind of the story, and James and Alana's lesson became a symbol of the fight against prejudice, showing that even the most glittering luxury loses its value without respect and humanity. You've just seen a story that goes beyond jewelry and luxury. It's about respect, dignity, and the fight against prejudice. James and Alana have shown us that, even in the face of adversity, we can turn pain into strength and create a legacy of justice and empathy. That moment inside the jewelry store is not only an example of family overcoming, but a powerful reminder that each of us has a responsibility to fight prejudice wherever it manifests itself. True value lies in the actions we take and the way we treat others. If you believe that everyone deserves to be treated with respect and dignity, and if this story has touched your heart, be sure to follow our work. Together, we can make a difference and build a fairer future for everyone.